Now a fallen hero is back home tonight. The remains of Army First Sergeant Peter Andrew McKenna arrived today, 1 week after his tragic death while serving his country. Rhode Islanders took time out of their day today to stop and honor McKenna as his remains were taken to his hometown of Bristol.
Signs of respect could be seen across the state as the procession rode through. Eyewitness News has team coverage tonight. Kelly Sullivan has more details on an effort to help support McKenna and his family.
Beginning our coverage is Susan Campbell, who was there for the emotional moment when his casket was removed from the plane. She joins us now live in Bristol.
It was completely silent as First Sergeant McKenna's body was removed from the plane. The governor, our congressional delegation, and McKenna's family were all there waiting for him. A fallen hero has returned home to Rhode Island. First Sergeant Peter Andrew McKenna was killed in action in Afghanistan. In silence, soldiers saluted as the honor guard carried McKenna's flag-draped casket off of the plane in Quonset into a hangar at the base where his family was waiting.
This young man gave his life for our country, and it's very difficult. A lot of people are very emotional.
The emotion showed all along the route from Quonset to Bristol, where McKenna will be laid to rest. There were signs paying tribute to McKenna flashing across the interstate. Nearby, first responders lined up in Warwick as the somber caravan passed. And a similar tribute in Warren, where a flag floated over the road. Every mile, signs of respect and thanks for the fallen hero.
It's nice to see it turn out.
And then as state police stood guard, First Sergeant McKenna arrived in his hometown.
Everyone in Bristol knows everyone in Bristol. It's just like a big family. That's just the way it is.
The Special Forces soldier was greeted with applause.
It's just like very dark cloudy over here right now. And the town's coming together, the community's coming together, both Warren and Bristol, and we're going to give him the proper honor, the proper dignity that he rightfully deserves.
First Sergeant McKenna was 35 years old. First Sergeant McKenna was brought here to the Sandstone Funeral Home. Coming up new at 6, we speak with a Purple Heart recipient. He explains why this soldier's death feels personal. Live in Bristol with the mobile newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
Now at 6, Rhode Island is remembering a fallen hero. First Sergeant Peter Andrew McKenna returned home today.
The 35-year-old Bristol native's remains arrived at Quonset Air National Guard Base. Police officers and others paid their respects to the Army veteran as the procession moved through the state.
McKenna's death reminds us of all of our local fallen heroes. Eyewitness News brings you team coverage now. Perry Russum has more on the dozens of brave servicemen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice since 9/11.
But first, let's go to Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell live in Bristol with a story of a local World War II Purple Heart recipient who's paying respect to the fallen hero.
That war veteran came here today because he says the soldier's death feels personal. He was just one of many to come out and pay respects to the fallen hero. First Sergeant Peter Andrew McKenna is home. The remains of the Special Forces soldier arrived in Quonset this afternoon, where his family was waiting.
He knew what his job was. His job was to protect those people that couldn't protect themselves. And to give his life and to have his life taken this way is just, it's just so emotional in this town right now.
First Sergeant McKenna was transported from Quonset to Bristol. Mile after mile, a grateful community greeted the somber caravan.
We should give them a lot of credit and give them a lot of respect.
Arthur Medeiros is a World War II veteran and a Purple Heart recipient. He says the soldier's death feels personal.
Well, I got hit twice. I got one at the bulge and one right after we crossed the Rhine. So that was but I'm here. And that's why I went over there with so many friends, and I only came back with about 12. And that, it's hard. It's hard, especially when you see something like this.
First Sergeant McKenna was 35 years old. The governor and Rhode Island's congressional delegation were at Quonset this afternoon to pay their respects to First Sergeant McKenna. Live in Bristol with the mobile newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.